Have you ever felt drained, anxious, or even physically tense after spending time with someone who complains about everything? What if I told you there's real science showing that being around chronic complainers can actually hurt your brain, raise your stress levels, and even impact your body? It's not just in your head. Today, we're diving deep into the research on how chronic complaining affects not just your mood, but your physical health, your hormone balance, inflammation, your ability to think clearly, and your long-term well-being. This is the science of secondhand stress, and it's more serious than you might think. First, let's be clear. Complaining is normal. Everyone needs to vent sometimes. It's a healthy way to process frustration, but we're talking about something different. Chronic complaining. This is when someone repeatedly focuses on what's wrong, getting stuck in a negative loop without ever looking for solutions. Psychological research shows that when complaining becomes a habit, it literally reinforces negative pathways in the brain. It makes pessimism the default setting and optimism much harder to reach. Think of it like a path in a forest. The more you walk down the negative path, the wider and more defined it becomes, making it the easiest route for your thoughts to take. So, how exactly does this negativity rewire your brain? According to research highlighted by the World Economic Forum, our brains are incredibly adaptable. The more you're exposed to complaining, the stronger the neural circuits involved in negative thinking become. This is based on a famous principle in neuroscience. Neurons that fire together, wire together. In simple terms, the more your brain activates its complaint mode, the better it gets at it, and the more likely it is to slip into that mode automatically. Even worse, studies suggest that chronic negativity can actually shrink the hippocampus. This is a crucial part of your brain responsible for memory, problem solving, and your ability to adapt to new situations. A smaller hippocampus is linked to a higher risk for depression and other mental health issues. And here's the craziest part. Every time you're exposed to persistent complaining, even if it's someone else's, your brain processes it much like your own negative thoughts. It activates your stress circuits and reinforces that same pessimistic state. You're not just listening to negativity. Your brain is participating in it. This brings us to stress hormones. Being around constant complaining, even as a passive listener, triggers your body's stress response. Every complaint you hear can stimulate the release of cortisol. The body's main stress hormone, cortisol, is designed for fight or flight situations. It's great for escaping a real threat, but when it's triggered by a coworker's daily rant about the coffee machine, it's just damaging. Cortisol redirects energy away from important functions like digestion, your immune system, and relaxation. Over time, prolonged high levels of cortisol are linked to a whole host of problems. Anxiety and irritability, a weakened immune system making you more likely to get sick, sleep disturbances, and even weight gain and metabolic issues. So when you say you feel physically sick after a long conversation with a negative person, you're not exaggerating. Your body is literally experiencing a physical stress reaction. The physical effects don't stop with hormones. Let's talk about inflammation. A growing body of research shows a direct link between negative social interactions and chronic inflammation in the body. For example, studies published in journals from the National Institutes of Health showed that people who experience frequent negative relationships, those with chronic complainers, have higher levels of inflammatory proteins when they re-stressed. Why is this a big deal? Because chronic inflammation isn't just a minor issue. It's a major contributing factor to some of the most serious health conditions of our time, including heart disease, diabetes, autoimmune disorders, and even cognitive decline. So, that toxic friendship or draining family dynamic isn't just bad for your mood. It could be fueling a low-grade fire inside your body that puts your long-term health at risk. Of course, the most immediate impact is on our mental health. The constant negativity can wear down your emotional resilience, making it harder to cope with life as normal ups and downs, and leaving you feeling hopeless or on edge. And here's something to be really aware of. Negativity is contagious. Just like you can catch a yawn or a laugh from someone else, you can also catch a mood. This happens through a process called emotional contagion. When you're around chronic complaint, your brain can subconsciously internalize their negative cues and begin to adopt similar thought patterns. You might start noticing the bad things more often, feeling more pessimistic, and even starting to complain more yourself. This can lead to a state that psychologists call learned helplessness, where you start to feel like you have no control over your situation and give up on trying to make things better. Your motivation drops, you get stuck in loops of negative thinking, and your world starts to feel a lot smaller and more frustrating. So, what can you actually do to protect yourself if you're surrounded by First and foremost, set boundaries. This is non-negotiable. Limit the amount of time you spend around people who consistently drain your energy. You don't have to cut them off completely, but you can control the duration and frequency of your interactions. Second, actively seek positive environments. Surround yourself with people who focus on solutions, not just problems. Spend time with friends who lift you up and inspire you. Third, practice gratitude. Deliberately focusing on what you're thankful for is a powerful way to shift your brain. It's neural patterns toward positivity. It's like creating a new, sunnier path in that mental forest. Fourth, develop your emotional awareness. Recognize the moment when someone's negativity starts to affect your mood or stress level. When you feel that shift, it's a signal to gently disengage or change the subject. And finally, try to steer conversations in a more productive direction. Instead of just listening to a repetitive complaint, you can say something like, "That sounds really tough. What do you think you might do about it?" This encourages solution-oriented thinking instead of just stewing in negativity. Remember, being around people who complain constantly isn't just annoying. The science is clear that it can genuinely harm your mental and physical health. Your emotional environment matters just as much as your physical one. Protect your brain, your stress hormones, and your long-term well-being by being mindful of the social energy you surround yourself with. Choose positivity, not just for a better mood, but for a healthier life. If this video helped you understand something new, please hit that like button. Subscribe for more content on health and well-being, and share it with someone who might need to hear this today. Thanks for watching.